Good morning and welcome to today's morning mobility session. This is designed for seniors, but open to anyone who wants to do a little gentle movement, warm up your muscles, and get some mobility work in 20 to 30 minutes. So, we're going to start, as always, with a body weight circuit. So, find a little bit of space, and we're going to start with a lateral lunge to overhead reach. I'm standing with my feet a little wider than shoulder width. And as I shift my hips over to the side, I'm going to reach my arms up and then return to the top. We're going to stick with going to the same side to keep it simple. So reach over. I'm keeping the other leg as straight as I can to get some mobility and stretch in that adductor and hip. And I'm trying to keep my back flat as I hinge over at the hip and come back up. Now let's go to the other side, reaching up with the arms, shifting over and back to the top. Make sure that you're fully standing up in between each rep, not staying bent at the hip or knee. Let yourself reset before starting the next one. Make sure that you're not craning your neck up, but looking at the ground to keep a neutral neck as you shift the hips over and up one more time, shifting the hips, reaching the arms, and up. Very good. All right, second exercise, we're gonna do a neck mobility exercise. For this one, just stand with your feet together or just slightly apart. You're gonna look over one shoulder, look down, tucking your chin, come back up, and then straight. Now we're gonna alternate. Other side, look over your shoulder, bring the chin down to the shoulder, back up, and forward. Alternating sides, going at your own speed, looking over that shoulder, tucking the chin down, up, and forward. Making sure that that movement really stays isolated to your head and neck so that we're not letting any mobility slip away from us or leaving anything on the table. We don't want that work to go anywhere else but where we're trying to have that movement and mobility. And we'll do one more for each side. Tuck the chin down, up. Last one, chin goes down and up. Very nice. All right, and then our third one is going to be some ankle circles. So for this one, potentially holding onto a wall or a chair, something for a little balance support, and then have your foot just a little bit in front of you. Look at your big toe, choose a direction, and make as big of a circle as you can with that big toe. A lot of people like to speed through this one, so slow yourself down. Try to smooth out that circle that you're drawing with your big toe as much as you can. One more this direction, then we're going to go the other direction. Totally normal for one way to feel a lot more coordination challenged than the other side. We'll do two more and rest. Good. Now time to see what it's like on the other side. Look at that big toe and then start drawing a big circle. Often the ankles or the wrists or the neck are often things we can neglect or forget to add to our mobility. The shoulders and hips are very popular and rightfully so. Now I'll switch directions, but it's always good to remember that all of our major joints could benefit from some extra mobility practice. Good, last one. And rest, perfect. Alrighty, as always, we're gonna run through these circuits 2 times total. So we're gonna go back to the top with that lateral lunge overhead reach, choosing whichever side you wanna start on, and we're shifting our hips as we sit down into that one side, arms go overhead and back to the top. Now, how low you go is totally up to you. It doesn't have to be a huge movement. But if you find that on this second round you're able to go a little bit lower, feel free. As long as it's controlled and you're not bouncing in and out of that range of motion using the stretch reflex, you want to make sure that it's smooth and controlled all the way through. One more for this side, and then we'll go to the other one. Perfect. And now that other side. Making sure you have a neutral neck, making sure your heels stay on the ground. And those arms are mostly straightish, okay to have a soft bend in the elbow. And one more good reminder, always make sure to breathe. And we'll do one more. Reach and sit into that hip and come back up. Very good. Alrighty, second one, back to our neck mobility. Looking over one shoulder, chin comes down, lifts up, and other side. What this helps get into a little bit is our levator scapulae. A little bit of an extra stretch as we drop the chin down for that. Make sure to take your time. You might notice one side feels a lot tighter, or one side doesn't feel like much of a stretch, but it feels like a big stretch on the other side. Totally normal. When you're done with this class, you could spend a little extended time in that position as a stretch. And one more on each side. Chin down, up, over, chin down, up, and over. Very good. Alrighty, and then back to our third one with that ankle circle. And picking whichever foot you want to start with, slightly lift it off the ground, looking at that big toe, and drawing a big circle. Really taking your time with this one, not rushing through any parts of that circle that are more challenging. And switch directions. A little bit of work for the quad, holding that leg up. Almost there, one more. And rest, good. Time for that other side, choose your direction. I have to listen back to see I've got the window open. You might hear some birds chirping today. Do 2 more circles this direction. And switch. And making sure that your knee isn't moving, that your leg isn't moving. All of that movement is just isolated to the ankle. Last one. And rest. Good. Alrighty. For our second circuit, we're headed down to the floor. So find a nice carpeted or yoga mat area to go down to. And if for this first one you needed to double up your yoga mat for a little extra cushion on the knees, feel free. Starting from this hands and knees position, make sure your knees are right under your hips and your hands are right under your shoulders, not way out in front of them. And then take your leg and just stick it straight out to the side. So my foot is still even with my knee. If that causes extra knee pressure, again, just double up your yoga mat. And then we're going to do a thoracic rotation here. So hand goes on the back of your head, or you could have fingertips on your ear if that's easier. Rotate the elbow down and rotate up. How big this movement is depends on you. This is a slightly more advanced version than keeping your knee in that tabletop position. So if you need to go back to here, feel free. But if you can embrace that challenge today of this foot out position, stick with it for one more time this side. Great. And rest. Good. All right, then you can just stick out your other leg or spin around if you need to space-wise. That leg goes directly out to the side, keeping the leg as straightish as it'll allow. Hand behind the head. Elbow rotates down and opens up as much as you can within reason. It's okay if it feels pretty tight there. This is working that thoracic spine, that area that for a lot of us can be kind of rounded or hunched over. So this is great to really think about squeezing your shoulder blades together at the top. And last one, down and up. Perfect. Alrighty, for our second one, you can go ahead and roll down onto your back. Nice comfortable position for your head. Keep one leg bent. With the other leg, we're going to do a galloping motion. So start by drawing your knee in towards your chest, extend your leg, and then lower it down. Bring that heel in, foot lifts up, kind of like you're backwards pedaling, forwards pedaling a giant bicycle. Lift, extend, heel in, lift, straighten that leg, extend, bend in, extend, lower down, one more, extend, lower down, and rest. Good. All right, time for the other side. Knee pulls in, straighten your leg. You might notice you feel a little bit of a hamstring stretch, a little quad activation. That's exactly what we're looking for here. Also getting mobility at the hip by working that hip flexor through, contract, and extend. Taking your time. Again, we're not using momentum, controlling that movement. One more for this side. Extend, down, and rest. Very good. All right, for our last one, finally getting to some shoulder mobility. We're going to do some floor angels. And so we're starting with arms in a field goal position, but tuck those elbows down a little bit. And then we're just going to reach the arms up as straight as you can, keeping them close to the ground. And then draw the elbows back down, slightly further than a field goal post. Reach up and back down. If you wanted a little bit of core engagement, you could try thinking about pushing your spine flat into the ground. But if you don't want to add that, you can just have a very natural curve of your spine. Reach up. And one side might feel a little bit clunkier, it might have a few more clicks or cracks or pops. That's totally okay as long as there's no pain associated with it. If it does feel painful, just lift your arms a little bit further up from the floor. That was our last one. So rest. Good. Alrighty, we'll run through these three one more time. So bring it back to our tabletop position to get ready for that thoracic extension. So from our hands and knees position, and we're going to stick your leg straight out to the side with your foot about even with your knee. It's usually a little further up than you think, but if you can't do that, then just meet your body where it's at and have your hand on the back of your head. Bring that elbow down and open, raise it up. Good. Elbow comes down, raise it up, elbow down, big lift. Good. This is a great one to make sure to breathe during. A lot going on and a little challenging, so there might be that temptation to hold your breath, but get some oxygen to those muscles. And rest. Good. Alrighty, prepare yourself for the other side. From that tabletop, leg goes out, hand goes on the back of the head or the ear, and then elbow drops down, raises up, lowers down, lift, If you can think about squeezing your shoulder blades together a little as you open up, go for that. If not, that's okay. Just let that elbow guide your body up and down. Last one here, up and down. Wonderful. Alrighty, then second one, going back to that one leg gallop. So find your nice comfortable position on the floor. Keep one knee bent, and then for our working leg, gonna just bring that knee in, lift up the foot, extend, lower, bring back in. Lift, extend, lower. Good, nice controlled movement. Lift, lower, pull in, two more, lift, smooth movement. Last one, lift, extend, and rest. Wonderful. Alrighty, other side, get ready for it, take a breath, then bring that knee in, lift up, lower down. Good. Again, breathing through this one, maybe seeing if you can straighten that leg a little bit more at the knee as you lift. Dragging that heel back in. Take your time, lift. Pull in, two more, lift. Very good, last one. Lift, extend, and back in. Perfect. Alrighty, stay right here, keep those knees bent. And then get into that field goal post position with the elbows tucked down a little further. Take a big breath in and out. And then when you're ready, straighten those arms up and lower them back down. Might be a tendency to rush through this one, but we want to take our time so that the shoulder joint has to really kind of settle into each position throughout that movement. Straightening the elbows, arms by ears, tucking back down, reaching up, back down. Two more times, reach, back down. This last one, really big reach, straighten your elbows at the top and keep your arms as close to the floor as you can as you go to that finished position. Perfect. Alrighty, our last circuit is back up to standing. So make your way back up there and get ready for our last circuit. And so we're sticking with shoulder mobility, but in a different position. We're gonna do a prisoner to T. So I'm gonna start with my hands, just with my fingertips touching behind my head. And then I'm gonna extend to a T, pull my arms back a little bit, bring them forward, back to that prisoner. Arms go out, pull a little, straight, and prisoner. Straight, pull. Good. This is really opening up our chest and shoulders. Great one for posture. Not too big of a movement with that squeeze, but just enough that you engage the shoulder blades, pull them together. And one more time. Pull back and rest. Very good. Alrighty. Our second one is going to be some hip mobility with a straight leg lunge to knee up. So for this one, feel free to use a wall for some balance or hold on to that chair. If you're holding on with your right hand, you're going to keep your right leg on the floor. Your left leg is going to go back, but I'm keeping the leg straight. Notice how I have a nice line between from my shoulder to my heel. And then I'm going to stand tall and bring my knee up. Then I'm going to reach back, straight leg, diagonal line with the body, and bring the knee up. A little bit more complex, this one, so feel free to give yourself a few moments to get the hang of it. Try hand on the hip, straight leg, knee up. One more time. This front leg bends, back leg doesn't, and knee up. Perfect. Alrighty, we'll get some more practice with this on the other side. So leg closest to the wall stays where it is. Outside leg goes back, and then knee comes up. Straight line from that shoulder to the heel. Lift up. Make sure to breathe on this one. A little bit of work for the legs. Lift up. Reach. And lift. Two more for this side. Reach. And lift. Maybe feeling some quad and glute. That's totally okay and encouraged. Lift and rest. Perfect. Alrighty, then our last one is a nice one. We're just going to do a little side to side swaying with our arms up. You're going to think about making the letter C with your body, reach your arms, and then other way, make a C or a little crescent moon shape with your arms, not dropping your head too much, but lift and lengthen. Other way, lift, reaching those fingertips. One more time for each side. Make yourself a C. And other side, reach and rest. Very good. Alrighty, we'll do all of these one more time and then you'll be done. So going back to our overhead or shoulder mobility, starting with hands behind the head in that prisoner hand position. Arms go out. They pull back a little bit. Back to forward. Hands behind head. T. Pull the hands back, forward. T. Pull the hands back, forward. Taking your time with this one, really think about activating your back and shoulders, especially as you pull the shoulder blades for that squeeze. And one more time. Squeeze the shoulders, open chest, and rest. Perfect. Alrighty, and then our second one, hardest one of the day, we'll get it over right now, going for that straight leg lunge to knee up, balance support, inside leg stays on the ground, leg goes back, and then knee comes forward. Reach straight line, shoulder to heel, knee comes up, straight line, knee comes up. Take your time on this one, control it, resist the urge to rush through it. We'll do two more. Straight line from head to heel. Last one. Reach and draw that knee up. Perfect. Alrighty. Second one, other side. Take a breath. Get yourself ready. That outside leg reaching back and coming up. Make sure that torso leans a little forward as you reach the leg back, but don't overdo it. Just a little tilt. Knee comes up, reaching back. Knee comes up. Make sure that front leg bends a little to let you hinge into the hip. Knee comes up, last one. Knee comes up and rest. Very good. Alrighty, then one more time with our side to side reaches. Arms go straight up in the air. Really think about reaching with your fingertips as you move to the side and other side. If you feel comfortable letting the hips shift a little bit in the opposite direction, feel free. But if that doesn't come naturally, just ignore that and focus on the reach. You're getting a nice stretch in that side, oblique and intercostals. Reach, keep breathing. We'll do two more on each side. And take one more breath. Reach those fingertips. And last one, reach. Very good. Alrighty, well, I hope you feel loosened up and a little bit more mobile after today's session. We'll be back next week for more mobility work. In the meantime, feel free to go check out more information on at Hello Strength Seniors on Instagram. And there's also options in the link in the bio to support this channel. Thanks for joining and have a great day.